Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuouki Zuisoroku, the fan disc material from the first game, or the extras added to the PS3 version. Today we're beginning on Heisuke Todo's extras, and for that we have to head back to Shinsengumi Adventures 1 and make new choices again. So, we will be skipping through the old material that we have been through before, but I'll show you the choices that we have to make. First off, we choose to distract Hijikata. Secondly, this time we keep to the story instead of giving in so easily. I'm not! I spoke as firmly as I could, but still wasn't able to keep his gaze and had to look away. I'm a terrible liar.
Right, Chizuru? It's just tea. We're not hiding anything.
He flashed a grin and nodded in agreement. Hijikata raised an eyebrow. He ain't buying it.
That better be the truth. If you're hiding something and I find out about it later, I won't go easy on you.
Ease up, would you, Hijikata? You're freaking her out.
It's just a simple question. If she doesn't have anything to hide, then she shouldn't be afraid.
That's not true. If somebody's being scary, it's scary, whether I have something to hide or not.
Bullcrap. You're intimidating as hell.
To everybody.
You can't deny he's right on the mark with that, Hijikata.
Hey, shut it. That's not helping. Don't bring it back around to me.
He rubbed his temple and sighed deeply. Poor guy, he does that a lot. Suddenly looking extremely tired. Kondo spoke up, his words coming out slowly, as if he was trying to figure something out.
So, I get that Yukimoto came to pour some tea. Well, why are you here then, Heisuke? It seems rather odd.
To help carry it?
I already told you earlier, she can't handle all the cups and utensils on her own.
Well, I guess it is difficult to carry all those things by herself. But you've already helped her bring them here, so that means your job is done, right?
He has a point. Caught flat-footed, Heisuke could only blink at a loss for words. I'll just say he got lost in the moment or something.
So, what is it then? Do you have a reason for still being here or not?
This wasn't good. At any rate, Heisuke would be dismissed and made to leave the room. And then I'd have to keep it up all by myself. If that happened, then I'd be left here by myself, and I didn't know how to act around them, let alone distract them. Well, I think not knowing how to act around them would be distracting enough. Hijikata still seemed to be very suspicious, so we had to be careful with what we said next. I spoke up. There is a reason. All eyes in the room were suddenly on me. I wanted to bring tea, but entering this room is kind of scary. I didn't know if I could do it. He's here for moral support. But I thought that maybe if Heisuke came with me, then I'd feel more comfortable. So I asked if he wouldn't mind keeping me company.
Chizuru.
His eyes widened. A grateful smile broke out on my face as he looked at me, almost as if I'd made him happy. I think I did.
Heisuke, is she telling the truth? Is that why you're here?
Yeah, of course. I figured if me being here was going to help her somehow, then that's where I'd be.
Hijikata frowned even more than before, but before he could speak, Sanan interjected.
Just let it go. They've explained themselves, so we shall take them at their word.
He pressed his lips together, closed his eyes, and sighed. Hijikata snorted, his voice dripping sarcasm as he delivered each word with a wry twist of his mouth.
This is a surprise. It's unusual to see you voluntarily backing someone's story. What's gotten into you?
He is getting soft.
Nothing of note, really. I would just like to get back to our important meeting.
The atmosphere in the room suddenly became incredibly tense and uncomfortable.
Perhaps you guys should go now. The tea was wonderful, thank you.
Guess we can't listen in. He scratched at his cheek awkwardly and motioned to the door.
You heard him. Leave. I better not see you back here.
No more tea?
Right, on it. Sorry about interrupting.
Well, that wasn't much of a distraction. We weren't there very long. I'm very sorry if we bothered you. Then the two of us exited the room as if our heels were on fire. Did we do any good? The moment we got outside, my adrenaline ran out and I nearly fell over, my legs barely holding me. I breathed a shaky sigh. Heisuke didn't look much better. He glanced over at me, chuckling faintly.
It took a lot out of you, didn't it? I always forgot how sharp Hijikata and Sanan are about things like this. Somehow they just know.
They have good intuition. How could you forget that those two are very sharp? He wiped a bit of sweat off his forehead and sighed with relief. Suddenly he straightened like he remembered something. Well, I guess he forgot because, Toto's not the sharpest guy in the bunch.
Oh yeah, by the way, thank you, Chizuru.
What? Why?
You stood up for me back there, right? It made me happy, so I wanted to be sure to tell you that.
The honest sincerity in his voice made me turn and look at him. He caught my eye and held it, never breaking his gaze.
Really, thanks. It meant a lot to me. I'm glad you decided to help us out with all this mess.
Oh, I didn't think I did anything special. I feel like I should be thanking you instead. I couldn't seem to stop myself from blushing. It was clear that he wasn't lying. My heart felt light.
What? I kept screwing up so much that if you hadn't been there, my butt would have been in the fire. You saved both our skins.
You think so? He nodded. A moment later, his eyes lit up, and he grinned. He leaned in a little closer. What are you doing?
How much do you want to bet that there are sweets hidden on one of the shelves in the kitchen? Let's go eat them.
And who would have hidden them? Huh? You think so?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. As a sign of appreciation, I want to treat you. It's more than empty words, at least.
But...
Don't worry. It's first come, first served in this place. They'll never even know anyway.
Are you sure? To take something without permission, I'd only barely escaped the last situation. Did I dare tempt fate again?
Oh man, now I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get them. We can eat in your room.
Oh, yeah, take the evidence to my place, will ya?
Just you wait, Chizuru. I'll pour some tea for the both of us, too.
Okay. I don't think it's a good idea. Maybe the anxiousness I felt was excitement, not worry. Living dangerously, I made my way back to my room and waited for him to arrive. A few minutes later, he entered with a tray full of tea and several sweets.
All right, dig in.
Thank you. The grin on his face was so big that it was nearly contagious. I glanced at the tray. I sure hope this isn't somebody's special stuff.
Something wrong? You don't have to be shy. Go ahead.
Okay, I will. What is this?
Oh, that's right. You're from Edo. It's cherry mochi.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
You've probably never seen this kind before, huh?
I've had all kinds of mochi, but not cherry. I really like green tea mochi best, and taro. Interesting.
You remember how the Edo version wraps the red bean paste in a sort of tube shape?
Yeah, then the kind they make in Kyoto uses mochi rice instead. I brought the sweet up to my face and examined it closely. Huh. They don't look at all like the ones I had before. The only thing both kinds have in common is this leaf.
This one's more like a mochi, right? Don't get me wrong. The way they make them in Edo is great, too. They look different, but both are pretty good.
Yeah, the taste only matters. Who cares how they look?
Having either one of these with tea makes me think of spring.
You're right, they do. Nodding, I glanced over at him in time to see him about to peel off the leaf from his cherry mochi. I really want one now. Wait, you're taking the leaf off? Do you not like it?
Huh? I thought it was just for decoration, and you were supposed to do that.
Well, it's been pickled, so it should be edible. That doesn't sound very good. A pickled leaf on cherry mochi? You don't have to eat it if you don't want to. It's just personal preference. It might taste good, though, so why don't you try it? He stared at the cherry mochi, his expression fierce. He's really thinking about this. Inner battle, to eat or not to eat, that is the question. Steeling himself, he quickly took a large bite out of it, with the leaf still on, and chewed experimentally. Why didn't you take a small bite? That's how you test it out. Don't waste it all in one experimental bite.
I guess it's not too bad. Kinda tastes like how I imagine cherry blossoms tasting.
Okay, that sounds even better. Maybe it is a good idea. We sat and enjoyed our tea, the warm sun shining in the window. It was so quiet and peaceful, I nearly forgot about the commotion from earlier. It was almost like I dreamed it. I wanted to stretch this comfortable moment as long as possible.
I wouldn't mind getting away from everything and hanging out like this more.
It is nice. Who wouldn't want to take breaks from their job?
Alright then, from now on, anytime I find delicious snacks hidden away, I'll bring them to you.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
I'll sneak off somewhere and eat them without telling anyone, just you and me.
Okay, thanks. He was smiling and talking to me like it was the most natural thing in the world. I felt myself relaxing in his presence. Perhaps we were friends now. It was hard to believe that a high-ranking captain of the infamous Shinsengumi wanted to spend time with me. It was a lot to take in. I knew my place there was very likely to change at any time. As Okita liked to say, they might kill me tomorrow, but secretly I couldn't help looking forward to the next time we'd be able to get together. Oh, and that was really short, so... Alright, next is, in the timeline, is Total Memories of Love 1, so that shouldn't be too long, so we'll go ahead and add that. The guide puts Adventures of the Shinsengumi 2 on there, but I think we might as well go with the timeline. Memories of Love, Total 1, May 1864. 4 months have passed since the protagonist came to live with the Shinsengumi, and her father's whereabouts are still unknown. When he sees her looking worried during her daily chores, Toto starts up a conversation. She enjoys it, but later learns that he has been disciplined for his actions. For talking to me? I guess we'll see. I guess he was supposed to be working.
You don't have to call me Toto, okay? It just feels kind of cold, you know? Just call me Heisuke.
Was that it? Man, you're strict, Hijikata. His nonchalance caught me by surprise. For one of the leaders of the infamously violent Shinsengumi, he seemed awfully innocent. Heisuke. Well, he's not so innocent in some of the other stories about the Shinsengumi. It felt a little odd to be so familiar with him, but if that was what he wanted, then that was what I'd do. I knew it probably didn't mean anything, but it did make me feel just a little bit closer to him. That made me happy, and for the first time I felt like staying with the Shinsengumi might not be so bad after all. And so it began. May 1864. That was the first spring I spent with the Shinsengumi. I'd been in Kyoto for 4 months, although it didn't seem like it had been for that long. Unfortunately, I wasn't in any position to enjoy the season. Not only was I confined to the compound, but the captains kept constant watch over my every action. It was nice of them not to kill me, of course, but... Yes, how considerate of them. They didn't allow me to join in the search for my father, either. At the end of the day, it was clear I wasn't one of them. All I was doing was causing trouble for them, but because of what I'd seen, and because of who my father was, they couldn't just get rid of me. Presumably, they didn't want me out looking for my father because they didn't trust me. It was understandable, of course, but doing nothing every day but wait for some news, any news of my father, was excruciating. I was starting to feel as if I was slowly suffocating. Then, one day, while I was trying to take my mind off my troubles by cleaning, that's when he approached me. Memories of Love, Part 1. May 1864. I looked down into the bucket full of water, and my face stared back, her hair tied up like a boy's. I shoved my cleaning rag into the water, and the image disappeared into 1,000 tiny ripples. I didn't want to be cleaning. I wanted to be out in Kyoto looking for my father. My chest felt heavy, and I sighed again.
Oh, is something the matter? If you're feeling tired, you should return to your room. The tea is nearly ready. I can bring you some in a bit.
Oh no, I'm fine. Besides, I told you I wanted to help. I scrambled to look more cheerful. Making him concerned just made me feel worse.
I apologize for the state of the place. They are all men, boys really, and terribly lazy. Your help is very much appreciated.
He smiled and squeezed his washcloth into the bucket. I didn't ask for your help. I wouldn't say it out loud because he probably wouldn't like it, but that gentle smile suited him very well.
Is there something on my face?
Oh no, nothing. A gentle smile. I was thinking about how I'm starting to feel like I know my way around here. That's all. I knew where this washcloth and bucket would go when we were done, for instance. The compound was starting to feel familiar, even if it didn't feel like home. I felt like I was getting more comfortable talking with the captains, too. I wasn't allowed to talk to the rank-and-file soldiers, however, since they didn't know the nuance of my situation. Unfortunately, that meant that on the few occasions that I saw them, any glances on my part were met with glares and outright animosity. Almost on cue, one of the soldiers appeared and called Inoe's name.
Inoue, Yamazaki is looking for you. He wants to talk about patrol schedules. Ah, yes. My men and I haven't decided on a day for the next month yet. Could you please convey my apologies to Yamazaki? I'm nearly done here. I'll be along in a moment.
I can handle the rest on my own. No problem. We're almost done anyway, and I know where the cleaning supplies go.
Well, if you insist. Thank you for your help.
He wiped his hands and stood up, but before he left, Inoue bent over me and whispered,
If anyone who doesn't know your situation appears, return to your room immediately. Better to avoid any possible difficulties.
Wouldn't that look kind of suspicious? Okay. I definitely didn't want to get in trouble for wandering around. As soon as Inoue left, I went back to cleaning the floor. If anyone walked by, they would probably just avoid me, but more trouble was the last thing I needed. It wouldn't hurt to be extra careful. I was pushing myself to work faster when... Heisuke? Aha!
Oh, hey, Chizuru.
Huh? You're distracting me! Heisuke, what are you doing with that sake?
Oh, well, I was going to head outside and have a drink, but...
Well, don't expect me to drink with you.
What are you doing here? Are they letting you out of your room now?
Yeah, well, I mean, Inoue said I could, so... I don't have anything to do, so I asked him if I could clean the floor.
Wait, seriously? You volunteered to clean up?
Somebody's gotta do it.
I don't get you. I wouldn't help clean if you paid me. It's a pain in the butt.
Really?
Yeah, you're a weird one.
Well, when they keep you shut up in a room with nothing to do, it's more appealing. Try it sometime. He laughed, but his eyes were still thin and sharp, like he was watching carefully for me to make a mistake or slip and reveal some hidden truth. Like what? He might have looked like a kid, but looking into those eyes, there was no doubt in my mind that he deserved in every way to be a captain of the Shinsengumi.
Anyway, why the heck are you volunteering to do chores? You think if you work hard, we'll start trusting you or treating you better or something? Because I hate to burst your bubble, but that's not going to happen. You're better off just staying in your room and keeping quiet.
But that's so boring. No, that's not it at all. I just wanted to do something. Well, you know I came all the way to Kyoto to look for my father, right? All I've been able to do so far is sit around and wait. You guys don't even give me books. And when I just sit around all day, my brain starts making up all sorts of bad stuff for me to think about. Even while we were talking, my father could be in some horrible situation, and I wouldn't know. Just the idea made my chest hurt. So
Oh man, I'm sorry. I guess that wasn't very nice of me, huh? Here, you can have my sake. Just don't cry.
Did I look like I'm gonna cry?
They say booze is the best way to forget your worries, right?
Only for certain people. He shoved the bottle out toward me. Thank you. I really accepted it. I wasn't crying or even about to, but it was nice of him to offer. I'm kind of in the middle of cleaning, though. I don't really think I should be drinking right now.
Oh, right, of course. Okay, I'll just, drink it on my own then.
Indian giver, what are you doing? Give that back. I can drink it later. I sat down against the wall, and I began to wonder if he meant to just drink it in the hallway. I don't want to be rude, but it's the middle of the day. Should you really be drinking?
Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna get drunk off this.
That's not really what I meant. Ah, so it's not from talking to me, it's from drinking in the public in the middle of the day that he gets in trouble. My real concern was that there might be some sort of Shinsengumi rule that prohibits drinking during the day. Then again, it probably wasn't my place to scold him.
What? What is it? Come on, what are you trying to say?
Don't you understand? Yukimura is concerned that you might get in trouble for drinking alcohol in the afternoon. You've been caught, Heisuke. Oh, Sanan, hello. He glanced over at me, but said nothing. Ever since he hurt his arm, his behavior's gotten more and more unpleasant. Before, he probably would have at least greeted me, but now... In any event, you should be going, Todo. The commander is looking for you.
Oh, crap, really? That doesn't sound good.
It is almost certainly not good, but you go and get it over with quickly.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm going. Oh, Chizuru.
Yes?
Actually, if Sanan's here, then I guess you're okay. Keep up the good work.
Okay? He gave me a sort of awkward shrug and headed off down the hall. I was a little worried. As he walked away, his shoulders were slumped in resignation. He knows he's in trouble. Sanan? What did Hijikata want to talk to him about? Oh, well, from what I understand, Hijikata is on his way to a firm scolding. Hijikata is... not in the best of moods. Oh no! Did he do something? Indeed, it seems that lately some men have been remiss in their duties, and Heisuke is the foremost on that list. His indiscretions have been frequent. Like stealing sweets and drinking in the middle of the day? In short, I believe he will be made an example of. I imagine the next several days will be unpleasant for him. Really? That seems a little harsh. Oh, only moments ago he was preparing to drink himself into a stupor right here. How can you defend that? I'm not defending it, I'm just saying maybe you should be a little bit lighter on whatever horrible punishment you're about to give him. No, all three of them have strayed too far. They need to be brought back in line, and this should be just the thing to do it. I guess he means also Nagakura and Harada. The trio. Did Hijikata call Nagakura and Harada too? No, they are elsewhere at the moment, but I've no doubt that they will be subjected to the same punishment when they return. Oh. A long, awkward moment stretched between the two of us. I felt like I had to say something, so I spoke up. I don't usually see Heisuke all alone like that. Most of the time he's with Nagakura and Harada. Sanan stared at me for a moment, then let out a cold laugh. I imagine that was because he was worried about you. What? But he just turned and walked away. Worried about me? Had he been worried I might do something? Or was he just keeping an eye on me? No, something about the way Sanan said it made me think there was more going on. After all, he'd been surprised to find me outside my room, so he couldn't have been there to supervise my cleaning. Maybe he came to see how I was doing. I spent the rest of my time pondering that. Even later that night, warm under my covers, my mind was too busy thinking to fall asleep. Thinking about Heisuke at night, huh? As it turned out, Heisuke's punishment amounted to house arrest. I was told that part of it was also that he wasn't given much to eat, so we didn't see him at dinner. Ah, that's the real punishment for him. He must be getting really hungry. Was he alright? I hoped things weren't going too bad for him. The more I thought about Heisuke, the more worried I became. What was it he said? I better not be sneaking out to give him food.
Actually, if Sanan's here, then I guess you're okay. Keep up the good work.
How does that figure into things? As I played the words back in my head, I grew more and more convinced that he had been worried about me and had come to check in. I was essentially confined in my room, and I could only speak to certain people. What if he'd been worried enough about me that he'd stay behind when the others went out so he could keep me company? Alright, that's it. I made up my mind. I'm going to go feed him. I rolled over, stood up, and grabbed my jacket. This is a bad idea. You're not allowed to go out without somebody. I tiptoed down the hallway until I reached the room where Heisuke was being kept. After checking that there was no one else nearby, I whispered as loud as I dared. Heisuke?
Huh? Wait, Chizuru?
Yes, I needed to tell you something. Is that okay?
Okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay at all.
You're gonna get in trouble.
If anyone catches you here, leaving your room without permission is bad enough, but you decided to just go for broke and visit a guy under house arrest.
I hear footsteps. Run!
What? Damn it. Chizuru, get in here. Hurry.
Oh, it's even worse. We're really going for broke now. Before I could even react, his door flew open and an arm shot out to pull me inside. I was still trying to figure out what was going on when he threw a blanket over me. What?
Shh. Shut up. Don't move.
I wasn't sure if he could see it, but I nodded. We waited in breathless silence for the footsteps to move past before I finally poked my head out. I looked up to see Heisuke frowning down at me.
What the heck were you thinking? What if somebody caught you? What if Hijikata had caught you? Did you have a plan? If you got something to tell me, why didn't you just, I don't know, ask someone else to do it or wait until I was out of the doghouse? Coming here by yourself is nuts.
Sorry, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences, though. This couldn't wait, and it's not really something I could get someone else to ask for me. It's too personal. I was worried. I was worried about you, Heisuke.
Me?
You came to visit me this afternoon because you were worried about me, right? Well, you didn't have to bring alcohol to do it. Well, I'm just doing the same thing. I was just worried you might be sad or something, or maybe hungry.
Of course he's hungry.
What's with those squinty eyes?
You're basically under house arrest too, aren't you? Shouldn't you be worrying about yourself?
I guess you do have a point.
Of course I do. Did you think this through at all?
A little bit.
I'm not sure if you're an idiot or just that nice. Most prisoners don't worry about the guy in the next cell.
I'm sorry. I looked down at the floor and heard him sigh.
Well, I gotta admit, I do appreciate the thought.
Oh, that's good, at least. He smiled.
You said that this couldn't wait. What's so important you had to come over here right now?
Didn't I already say I was concerned? Oh, right. Good, it didn't get squished. Oh, no, I did bring food. Yep, going for broke after all. Not just visiting a guy on lockdown, but also giving him food when he's supposed to be having reduced rations. I wanted to give you this. It should still be warm.
A rice ball?
Yeah, I went to the kitchen and made you one. It's just made from leftovers, though.
Well, wait, are you telling me you risk your life to bring me a rice ball?
Well, yeah, I thought you might be hungry. For several long moments, he just stared at it. He didn't seem to know exactly how he should react.
I guess you did go to all this trouble for me. If I didn't need it and made you go back, that wouldn't change what you did. And,
His face broke into a wide smile. And he is hungry, isn't he?
I am pretty damn hungry.
As he spoke, he reached out, plucked the rice ball from my hand, and bit off a piece. Oh yeah, that's a happy face.
Whoa, dang, this is good. What's in it?
I don't think onigiri usually varies much in ingredients. He took another large bite and chewed happily as he talked. Is it really that good? I mean, it's just salt and pickled plums like usual.
Are you sure? I don't think I've ever eaten a rice ball this good.
It's 'cause you're hungry. Really? Well, I'm glad you like it. The way he ate, though, it seemed as if he didn't just like it, so much as he'd never eaten anything so good before. I had a feeling it was mostly his hunger that was responsible, and not my skill, but I still felt a little bad for not taking a bit more time making it. In no time at all, he finished it off, and was licking stray grains of rice from his fingers. He thanked me for the food, then made me promise never to do it again and sent me back to my room. The thought of his face when I produced the rice ball made me giggle on the way back.
Stop.
Uh-oh. We're in big trouble now. I froze. There was someone around the corner, but I couldn't see them.
You heard me. What the hell are you doing?
I swallowed and took a step forward, but as I did... Hijikata!
What are you doing?
I could feel his eyes pressing against me like a pair of cold steel rods. Of all the people that could catch me! I swallowed and hid the rice ball wrapper behind me. What could I say? I felt like whatever I might do would get Heisuke in trouble. Unfortunately, it seemed like Hijikata didn't need to be told to know whose room I just left.
If you were one of my men, you'd have to die for this.
Really? Seppuku for that? He scowled, and in the darkness he looked like a vengeful demon.
Go to sleep, and don't ever let me catch you doing this again.
Of course, I'm so sorry. I ran from my room as fast as I could. Well, lucky he was apparently in somewhat of a good mood for him. My heart was still pounding madly as I clambered back into my bed. That was way too close. What do you mean way too close? You totally got caught. Nothing worse could have really happened. He'd let me go this time, but I saw in his eyes that I'd been in serious trouble. If he caught me again... I crawled deeper under the covers and tried desperately to think about something else. There was no denying that I did something I shouldn't have, but even after that terrifying encounter with Hijikata, I didn't regret it. When I closed my eyes, I could still see the happy smile on Heisuke's face. I hadn't been able to do much, but it seemed to really cheer him up. It was the first time since I'd come to the Shinsengumi compound that I felt that way, and it made things feel a little less hopeless. Until I finally drifted off to sleep, I kept the image of Heisuke's smiling face in my head. Oh my god, this was a really long video for Heisuke's first. Alright, well next episode will be his Adventures of the Shinsengumi 2, which is the thing with Shinbara, so that'll probably be its own standalone thing, because that's usually a fairly long venture. So I hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.